WWE SmackDown star returning to a former gimmick, former Intercontinental Champion teases an in-ring return, Hurt Angle wants one last match, and a WWE star suffers an unfortunate injury on this past Friday SmackDown. Hello, welcome to the Solo Sunday News here at What Culture Wrestling with myself, Andrew Pollard. And breathe. And be sure to like, subscribe, comment, share, turn notifications on, all of that good stuff. Most importantly, though, forget all of that. Forget what I've just said. Have a great day. Have a great Sunday. Whatever you're doing, whether you're doing something, whether you're doing nothing, I hope it goes really cool for you and you have the best possible day. And we're here, of course, to talk about wrestling. We're talking wrestling. I'm not going to go into that song again because I'm here to talk first and foremost about we may just be about to get a smidge of Pete Dunne back on our TV screens. I say we will. This is a spoiler of sorts for next week's SmackDown, which was taped Friday night. Obviously, of course, because WWE is coming over to Cardiff in Wales next weekend. Clash of the Castle. I'll be there. If you're there, come say hello. Heckle me. It's whatever you want to do. High fives are always appreciated, or fist bumps, but heckling is cool if I tell you need to vent. But yeah, because SmackDown was taped this past Friday, spoilers are out there. If you want to go and look at spoilers, they're all there. But a minor spoiler is that Butch, when he wrestled his match against Ludwig Kaiser, was wearing his familiar maroon singlet, which of course is synonymous with the Bruiserweight Pete Dunne. And it's just a bit of an inkling, a little inkling that maybe Triple H is thinking, he's hearing your calls. He's hearing those people who are going, what's a Butch? Why a Butch? Why not just Pete Dunne? It's almost like Triple H is kind of picking up on that and going like, well, yeah, why not Pete Dunne? Let's bring back the singlet, forget the slacks and the shirt and the braces and the little Peaky Blinders cap. No, on this coming Friday SmackDown, when you see Butch, he will look a lot like Pete Dunne, and I am very, very much here for that. If we can get his original NXT music back, I'd be very much here for that as well. But for now, it's a start. It's a start. If he looks like Pete Dunne, I was going to go on a Pulp Fiction rant there, but if he looks like Pete Dunne, that's a start for me. Like I said, if we can get that music back, if he wrestles like Pete Dunne, it's a good time. It's a good time. I mean, it remains to be seen what old Peter will be doing at Clash of the Castle, whether he actually gets to match himself or he's just there in the corner of Sheamus. But yeah, I'm a happy guy this morning seeing this. Like, oh, there he is. Look at him in his maroon singlet, looking with hair down. I'm going to get glossy-eyed and reminisce about how great Pete Dunne was when he looked like Pete Dunne and was allowed to be Pete Dunne. And breathe. But yes, from one British superstar to another. And Wade Barrett has not ruled out a return to the ring. Now, this is an interview that Wade's done with BT Sport, of course, ahead of Clash of the Castle. And the topic of an in-ring return came up. Now, Wade Barrett is 42 years of age, which means, I mean, wrestling-wise, there's still plenty of years in the tank there. When you look at, like, I know Chris Jericho is killing it lately again, and he's like, what, 50? It's age. Billy Gunn. Look at Billy Gunn, man. Just, it's nuts to see. I saw a picture this morning, actually, of Billy Gunn and his two sons, and they're on the stage of an AEW show, and it's like, how does Billy Gunn look so good? It's insane. But anyway, my point being, Wade Barrett at 42, if he wants to wrestle again, there's plenty of years left for him. Now, his last match, as of this recording, was back at WrestleMania. No, it wasn't. It was just after WrestleMania. It was April of 2016, where, as part of the League of Nations, Wade and Sheamus lost against the New Day, and then he disappeared and he's never wrestled again. That's mad to think that Wade Barrett, in 6 years, has not had a single match. Of course, prior to his current gig as one of the commentators for NXT 2.0, Wade was working for the NWA as a commentator, and there was that kind of tease right at the end of Lucha Underground of like, oh, there he is. There's Wade Barrett. He might wrestle again. But as it stands, 6 years since he's had a match. But his quote here to BT when he was asked, of course, the topic comes up of whether he wants to have a match again. He's like, yeah, I can still move. I can still lift. Body is feeling good. I've always said, look, I'm in shape, I'm fit, and I'm healthy. If the right opportunity presents itself at my door, then maybe we're going to see a Wade Barrett return in the ring one day. He did clarify, though, as he put it, I'm not chasing anything, and about how he loves the commentary gig he's got on NXT. In fact, I think he says somewhere in here that it's the most fun he's had in his career so far. So, and then he rounds it up with that being said, I don't think you ever really retire when you're a wrestler. So, if the right opportunity presents itself at the right time, then yeah, we might see you back in the ring at some point. I mean, you talk about the great wasted opportunities. I'm not saying Wade Barrett was going to be the next coming of John Cena, of Hulk Hogan, of Bret the Hitman Hart, brother, but there was that moment in time when the Nexus was such a hot thing, and Wade Barrett, it's like, push the button on him now, give him that world title, get him the big win over John Cena, and it just... Yeah, I mean, dude's got 5 Intercontinental titles to his name. He's got a King of the Ring win to his name. But it's like, there was so much more there that could have been done. It's just a classic case of hesitating and not pulling the trigger on a guy when you had the chance to pull a trigger on the guy. But one person who did clearly have a trigger pulled on him at the right time, what in terms of the greatest first year in professional wrestling history, or one of the greatest first years in professional wrestling history, is Kurt Angle. I have a prop for this. There we are. Who says no preparation goes into these Solo Sunday news and I just throw them out as they are? But no, Kurt Angle has teased that he wants one more match as well. This comes hot on the heels, of course, of Ric Flair having his final match at 70-odd years of age, passing out twice during the match, and having us all worried that, like, the Nature Boy was going to drop dead live on pay-per-view. Now, Kurt Angle is 53, so he's, 20 years Ric Flair's junior in that regard. And he's been talked about on Ad-Free shows. There was the gold medal Q&A part of that, where he's talked about he wants another match. It's not even like a tease. He's just like, yeah, I want one more match. That's it. But he does kind of hit home that at the moment he's recovering from double knee replacements, which sounds horrendous. So that is Kurt Angle's priority first and foremost. But after that, the Olympic gold medalist is very much open to another match, as he put it here. I'm not going to lie to you. The thought of an in-ring return comes across my mind here and there every once in a while, but I just have knee replacements. I'm in no position to think about wrestling right now. It's been 2.5 months since I had my knees replaced, both at the same time. It's a little rough doing both of them at the same time, but you know what? I'm not going to count out anything. I've told so many reporters and people from the news that I was done, but there is a chance that I might end up coming back. Of course there is. It's wrestling, brother. I don't know when, but it will probably be for one last match. I guess I'm putting it out there tonight. I didn't want to do that until my knees got better, but I'm not going to lie to you. I think about it all the time. I could possibly return. Yes. Would you be up for a Kurt Angle? One more run, one more match? It's a weird one, because the knee-jerk reaction is like, you don't need to wrestle, man. I mean, you've had those knees fixed, but I've just watching Kurt and those knees and the posture of his last few years when he came back to WWE and towards the end of his time in TNA and Impact, it's like, just, you don't need to be doing this anymore. It's okay. But the caveat is, Kurt Angle, if he wants to go out on his own, how he sees fit, then part of me is like, I'm cool with that, because as it stands, his last match was against Baron Corbin. No disrespect to Baron Corbin, but Kurt Angle, if he's retiring at WrestleMania, and there was all that talk of maybe doing something with John Cena, to then have his final match be against Baron Corbin in a match that went barely 6 minutes. Hey, if Kurt wants to come out and have one more match on his own terms, I'm all right with that. A little bit of injury news here as well, just as we start to wrap things up. Nikki ASH, almost a superhero. And this comes from WrestlingNews.co, who are reporting that Nikki suffered a very real knee injury on SmackDown this past Friday. So the one we've just seen, where there was the, what do they call it, last chance four-way match as part of the women's tag team tournament. And it's when she took a superplex from Dana Brooke, tweaked her knee, struggled to get back in the ring after that. The ringside doctor checked on her. She had to be helped to the back by Doudrop, her tag team partner. So there's no news in terms of specifics, in terms of what the injury is, other than it's something with a knee, or how long, if at all, Nikki will be out of action. But hopefully it's nothing too serious. Hopefully she's back in a wrestling ring sooner rather than later. So best wishes on that. But this tag team title tournament seems snake bitten. I mean, we've already had the Zoe Stark and the Keita Lions team and Toxic Attraction. Both of those teams have been pulled due to medical reasons, and here we are now. But the tournament does come to an end tomorrow night on Raw, where we'll have Dakota Kai and Io Sky versus Raquel Rodriguez and Aaliyah in a match where I'm very much pulling for the heels on that one. And then, I mean, we've got the looming supposed return of Sasha Banks Naomi, like, just there, tantalizing, titillating on the horizon, to quote Max Dupree. Right, wrap things up here with a couple of quick questions. Brian George got in touch. Hey, Brian, good morning, sir. If Punk versus Moxley is indeed the main event for All Out, could we see Don Callis turn on Omega and the Bucks in the Trios final and then help Punk win the title, turning Punk heel in the process? Maybe so Sunday. That could work. I don't see it myself. I think if Punk turns heel, I mean, when Punk was with Paul Heyman, CM Punk's one of those people where he does not need a manager in terms of a mouthpiece. But when he was with Paulie during this WWE run, they brought the best out of each other. It accentuated that act, the CM Punk act, the villain of CM Punk, even more. I don't think Don Callis is that level of Paul Heyman. And I don't think CM Punk needs it at this point in time. I think it looks very much like we may get a heel turn from Punk, but Don Callis. It's a strange one when Kenny came back because it's like the Bucks are now somehow baby faces because they've got boo-boo faces and Hangman said no to them. So they're baby faces. Kenny came back and hasn't really spoke in terms of on TV. So, I mean, he is kind of a baby face now because he's with the Bucks, he's teaming with the Bucks. It's the big return where you automatically get the big pop because people have missed you. But he's got Don Callis with him still, who is Don Callis can never be a babyface. Going back to like the Jackal days or the Network days in ECW, Don Callis is a great heel. So it's a weird dynamic with that at the moment. I wouldn't be surprised if Don and Kenny go their separate ways. But if they are, why bring Don Callis back in the first place? Anyway, I've gone round the houses on this question, but no, I don't think Don Callis joins with CM Punk anytime soon. But I do think we will get that Punk heel turn. Mark Solid's got in touch. Hey, Mark. More than Andrew, thoughts on who will be the first to defeat Hook? Hashtag this is the news. Apollo likes being a neighborhood watch. Apollo looking like a very good boy, as ever. On a Sunday, you know the drill by now. Send me pictures of your pets, or just random animals. It always puts a smile on these shops. Who's going to beat Hook? Nobody. Right now, there is nobody that jumps out really as beating Hook. I mean, I guess you could do some sort of jokey Danhausen roll-up in a few months' time, but that would just feel like, oh, no. And I could feel the wrath of the IWC coming down upon me just for even suggesting that. I don't know. And I'd like to see Hook retire the FTW title. It's a nothing. It's a nothing belt these days. It's always been an unofficial belt, but when Taz had it in ECW, it was a big deal. When Sabu beat Taz for it, it was a big deal. And it served its purpose in terms of okay, it gave Taz, when he was the manager, it gave him something to hang on to. Okay, they brought back the FTW title. That gives him something on TV to hark on about the FTW champion, about Brian Cage, about Ricky Starks, my boy Ricky Starks, absolute. And I think I'd like to see Hook retire that title, and just so it's out the equation, because title belts, man. You got the world title, you've got the TBS title, the TNT title, the women's title, the tag title, the FTW title, the ROH world title, the ROH TV title, the ROH tag team champions. You've got the IWGP tag titles, the AAA tag titles. And I'm sure there are others I'm forgetting. The trios titles on the way, of course. And it's FTW title you can do about that. So I don't know who beats Hook. You're sending questions in for me, and I honestly cannot answer that because I don't see him losing anytime soon. I don't think he should lose anytime soon. Mark's got in touch. Judging by your shelves, there we are. You're a Jaws fan. I am a massive Jaws fan. Yes, the film I've watched the most in my life, even though I'm terrified of sharks, mainly because of Jaws. If it was being rebooted, what wrestler could play Sheriff Brody? Dwayne is busy. Big woofs from my boys Murray and Brody. Again, the dog pictures. Dogs looking very cute there. Who would make a good Sheriff Brody? Martin Brody. Of course, Roy Scheider played Brody in Jaws and Jaws 2. And then was quietly killed off off screen in between Jaws 3 and 4, I believe it would be. I think CM Punk, I think CM Punk can make a really good Brody. He's got his acting experience. The Girl on the Third Floor, very decent film. I think Punk could bring a lot to that. So I'm going to go with CM Punk as the kind of grizzled, beaten down sheriff. Of course, with CM Punk, you wouldn't get that wine scene when they all get together at Brody's house and they have a little chuckle and they just pour lots of wine and they look at all the pictures of the sharks and you see the kind of almost like an Easter egg, a teaser of what's to come when Brody's looking at the book and there's a shark there with a gas cylinder in his mouth. It's that kind of comes in a bit later on. But yeah, no, as you can tell, I'm very much a Jaws fan. There's some Jaws, there they are. rubber ducks, I guess you call them. There's a bunch of Jaws Blu-rays and stuff over there. But hey, I'm going to move on quickly because I am waffling. Last question here. Dustin Sentineg. With WWE basically refusing to go TV14, is there a chance for the storylines to improve on the Triple H, or is it too little, too late? Dustin, thank you very much for the pooch picture. I'm one of those, where I don't read too much into the TV ratings, whether it's PG, whether it's TV14, whether it's a hard R-rated program. Good storylines are good storylines. You don't, if you're having to rely on your TV rating to make you for you to be able to do good storylines, then you're in the wrong line of work. To me, it's the rating. Okay, there's certain things you can't do if you're on, say, a PG rating, but there's no excuse not to have good TV. Not to bang on about CM Punk, but the whole CM Punk when he left WWE in terms of walked out with the title after Money in the Bank, 2011. That was really great TV leading up to that. Obviously, a lot of that was CM Punk had some creative input in that, and it was very much. It fell into WWE's lap in terms of the contract situation. But that was great TV. That was PG. And that was great TV. You don't need to... I'm not one of those that kind of goes along with the logic of, like, we need TV14 because then things will be good. You can still have a load of crap, should we say, in TV14. It's all about the stories that are being written. Just because it's TV14, or say it was a hard R rating, you can still have bad stories. There's ways of working around it. I mean, you go back to like the classic golden age of wrestling. You go back to the classic days of the NWA. NWA 74 last night one was very good. But you go back to the classic days of the NWA, of the territory days, of Florida Championship Wrestling, of Mid-South. Things had an edge, but there was nothing that would be kind of TV14 really. So I think that it's lazy if people are putting it on like, oh well, the product's bad because it's PG. It's like, no, the product's bad because it's bad. If the product's good, it doesn't matter about the rating. I could talk about that all day, as you can probably guess, but I am now going to call time on myself. I'm going to go and drink more coffee because hey, it's Sunday and a man needs his strong black coffee on a Sunday morning. But I have been Andrew Pollard here at What Culture Wrestling. Be sure to like, subscribe, comment, share, follow, blah, blah, blah. But most importantly, as ever on a Sunday, just have the best possible day. Whether you're doing something, whether you're doing nothing, I hope it goes really well for you. And I hope you have a good old time with it all. I will be back. I believe I might actually be back tomorrow because Monday, it's a bank holiday over here. And nobody wants to work on Monday. Apart from this guy's roped in. Rob Van Dam here. Yeah, Mr. Velocity, Mr. Sunday Night Heat, Mr. Jacked, Mr. Metal, Mr. Wrestling Challenge, the Job Squad, as it were. I think I will be back tomorrow because I'm sure that everybody else is off and I'm working in the morning. But in the meantime, come and follow us at What Culture WWE. Follow me if you want at Culture Left Peg on Twitter. I can't promise it's going to be that exciting. Again, have a great Sunday and I will be back tomorrow. I say that with no certainty whatsoever, but have a good one.